Hi, you've reached What's on Scott's Mind, which today is kind of a hodgepodge in the sense that I'm actually doing something else. I'm actually sharing things on X.com right now. I'm actually sharing my faces videos, my bird videos, and my other videos. But anyway, today being Monday, we're doing What's on Scott's Mind, and today we are going to continue the focus on Designing AI Data Centers, the book that came out last week. I did not realize this, but as a co author, my dog Puck is now saying that he does not wish to be paid in money, he wishes to be paid in bonies. So he has launched the Buy Books for Bonies Club. And apparently, if you buy enough books, Puck will send you an autographed copy. And if you'd like Sadie to autograph it, she will actually chew a part of the corner of the book off for you. So it's just something to think about, a little value add, as it were, to get Puck's signature rather than my signature. Something to think about. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the concept of data centers in space. And as I said, I'm actually uploading videos right now. So my apologies for that. I'm going to lean over, upload the videos. But I want to talk about data centers in space because there are a number of problems that have to be addressed before data centers in space are viable. I do believe in having researched and spent a lot of time researching the book, Designing AI Data Centers. I do think it is more viable to consider underwater data centers in the short run. And by short run, I mean the next 24 months. Beyond 24 months, data centers in space do present some interesting opportunities. But one of the things that you have to consider is that there are some issues, right? So I talked about one of the issues in my blog today, and that is the issue of repair. What do you do, right? I mean, computers die. It from time to time they die, and they need to be replaced, right? You ship 1,000 computers in a cylinder, you're going to lose one, two, three, or four, right? You're going to lose a few, 99, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 99, 100. You're going to lose some. And so what do you do, right? Do you allow it to deprecate out? In other words, I had 1,000 servers to start. Now I have 996 servers. Now I have 900 servers. And then at the point you get to like 100, you basically, let it fall back to earth. Now, look, there's some risks with that, and there's some realities that we have to consider. One of the things is, ultimately, space junk is not a good thing, right? At some point or another, all of that space junk is going to come down. And when it comes down, it's going to hit the Earth, and a satellite system with 1,000 computers in it is a lot bigger than a communication satellite. So it's not going to completely burn up, which means you're going to have a controlled reentry so that you can dump it into a deep part of the ocean where it doesn't matter. So that's just kind of problem one. Problem two is kind of this concept of double latency, right? If you think about latency is the time it takes your packet to go to the remote server and come back to you. Yeah, I know normally they measure latency as a one directional thing, but really latency is the whole package, right? The whole time slot. When you think about data centers in space, if they're in geosynchronous orbit, floating around the Earth, there's going to come a time on the edge of the horizon and the other edge of the horizon when a data center is going to fade from your view. You're not going to be able to use that data center. So you're going to have a distributed model for communication. You're going to have 10 data centers floating around the Earth, or 16, or some number of data centers, more than two, less than 100, right? But you're going to have a large number out there, which means you're going to have to do something that we really haven't done effectively to date, and that is distributed computing. Multiple data centers distributed across, right? You need to be able to maintain the state of the task that's being done. So that's another problem, is the reality of latency. And then, of course, there is the sheer reality of the communications network back to Earth. It takes time for signals to go from Earth to the AI satellite system and back, right? That takes time. That's part of the latency issue, but there's also a time issue, right? And we have to consider that as well. So we have a lot of considerations we have to do, and a lot of things, which makes the AI data center in space initiative really cool to talk about. But like Mars, it's a pipe dream today. It's not as real as putting data centers in bodies of cold water. In a body of cold water, there's enough water with enough mass that the heat gets dissipated. You will not create environmental disruption from putting it way in the water. Now, we're not talking about 50 feet underwater. We're talking 1,000 feet. So right off the bat, humans aren't likely to go down. And some of the data centers that are being built today, that are being dropped into the ocean or dropped into the various planes underwater, are not currently equipped with airlocks. So there's no way a human can get in. So the data center will operate until it can't operate anymore. And then I guess what you do is you have a charge on the wall, a shaped charge on the wall. You blow that charge and it obliterates the data center. People aren't going to break into it physically. You still have the issue of cybersecurity, and you still have to maintain the cybersecurity reality. And then the other thing you do have is the reality of communication, same as in space. So those are the things that I've been thinking about based on my book, and this is What's on Scott's Mind. The last What's on Scott's Mind for July 2026.